Okay, as part of our housing, getting our housing prepared for assembly, we've tidied up the outside of the housing. We've put CRC rust converter on there so we can paint over top of that. We've painted inside of the bell housing and the gearbox with Gyptol. It's it's a brush-on primer. Very expensive, but boy, it went a long way. So I'm quite happy with that. So now, what I'd like to do is replace the clutch shaft bushes. So I have a 27 millimeter disc in my little kit I bought off eBay years ago, and they're usually right on the outside the bush. So if I pop the punch in there like that, I can't actually get in here to bash it. So I actually use a big punch that comes through the other side. And I try and keep enough pressure on that so it looks after it and keeps it true, which and the bush is coming out the side there. And there you go, that's one bush done. They're a very thin walled bush. We have new Sparex ones. So yeah, that one's quite worn. So we just do the same for the other side here. So we start the disc off up the hole. Follow it up with the punch, and I'll probably come around the side for this just so I can swing a big hammer. Oh well, it's just a normal hammer. That's on its way. And there you go, that's the second bush out. So I'll come around the back here. So yeah, 27 millimeter for those. We'll get new bushes shortly. I'll just make sure the holes are all clean before we try and do any more fitting. Now, to do the brake shaft bushes, I'm using a 38 millimeter. That feels like it started in the hole okay. So that's a 38 millimeter disc. It is probably Imperial, but the set I have says 38, so we'll just go with that. So once again, I need to try and hold the bush in place with a punch from the outside. Try and hold it true. Then it wants to jump out on you. These are quite a large bush, so they're a bit harder to move. Whoop. Now I've got the punch caught in there. Got to go to get good help. Okay, so that's that bush. Now I'll just grab it off the floor, and that's the size of the bush, and you can see down the bottom side there there's nothing there. There's on one edge it's got, still got the marks from the where it was made, and the other one it's steel on steel. So I'll get the other one out, and when we come to refitting the bushes, I'll bring you back and I'll show you how to do that without burring them over, hopefully. Okay, what we're going to do is put this clutch bush in, and the part number for that is S40740. 40740, yep, that's correct. I thought I had dyslexia there for a minute. Now I've put grease in the hole just as a matter of lubricant. I have a 25mm disc and a, what's this one, 30, something like that. And look, the main thing is that this outer one's larger than the bush, and the 25mm sits in the bush to hold it central, to hold the bush central. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. One is like I'm doing here now. Now just get it started. And take your time and make sure you're getting it true. And that bush is flush with the outside housing. Now you may wonder why earlier when I was knocking these bushes out, why I came from the inside and, there we go, I was just getting this fella out. Why I came from the inside out to knock the bushes out. And I thought I probably should explain it. On the inside here, this bush is in a gallery that's so long, and by putting the punch inside I could actually locate the disc to push it out without supporting it. Now the reason I went out with these ones was on the clutch ones, on the brake ones, you can feel, particularly that one there, you can feel that there's a lip there, and where the chamfer is around here, over the years it had pushed out there, but it hadn't pushed out inside. So if that looks all right on yours, there's nothing wrong at all with knocking them from the outside in. I just went inside out because I had that flange on there, and yeah, sometimes when you hit it with something it makes it worse. The flange goes out further. So that's the only reason I come from inside out. Yeah, it's as simple as that. All right, we'll get set up and we'll put one of these brake ones in. Now, the other option for putting these in, if you don't want to tap them in like I just did, is get a piece of threaded rod and use the discs with the threaded rod, and you can bump the threaded rod up and down, make sure it's square as you go in. So that should be good now. This bush hasn't got to line up with anything else, and by fitting it like I fitted it, there's no burr there at all. There's a chamfer on the outer end of the ball. So I'll get set up and we'll have a look at putting a brake bush in. We're up to the brake shaft bushes now, and look, they go in the same as the others roughly. Make sure the hole is clean, put some grease in it. I have a disc that's bigger than the bush. That's all you need really. Come around, make sure it's as square as you can possibly get it. That looks pretty good. That was close, Lance. That feels good. Usually I just deburr the corner there, just to make sure we haven't got a little rough edge, but yeah, they're usually okay. All right, all we have to do now before we start putting stuff in is get the taps and dies going. Every hole gets a bit of a run. Now, if I turn the yep, you can see that just about. Okay, now even these holes in here, we just run a tap right through them all. Often use the drill. Just run them through with the Makita. I'll just grab that and get that happening. I just put him on slow. And so there's no little surprises. And this one here, we're going to have to do by hand. That's no big deal. So we just run him in and out. And look, we do every thread. There's 7/16 UNCs around here. Underneath, here where the bottom plate goes on that you can only just see. That plate there. We do the same. And look, it's just so once we've painted the tractor, this is an old tap that was blunt down the bottom, so I just chopped it off years ago. And I just use that. It's a bit hard to start sometimes. Very hard to start today. I might need to even that up. But yeah, I keep an old set of taps, and I don't use these ones for cutting new threads in things because they're a little bit blunt. They're okay for cleaning stuff out, but the more rusty holes you put them in, the worse they get over time. So for just making sure the hole's clean all the way through, like a bottoming tap, run him in till she stops, bring him back out again, and we'll run through all of that. So every hole gets done. I don't normally do the plugs, you know, the sump plugs, but I probably should. I have the gear to do it. So and there's the drop. Hey, you know it's a genuine video when Bundy Bear's dropping shit. So there you go. You don't probably need to really sit and watch me tapping holes out. We might end the video here, and next time you see us, we'll be starting to put pieces into the housing here, or probably we'll actually be doing shafts on the bench one by one. I'll just wind that over. That's looking lovely with that glip toll in there. It's just looking nice, a nice finish. It's not tacky anymore. I painted it early this morning and it's not tacky anymore. So yeah, look, it appears to be a good product. Well, it reads well, everyone swears by it, so yeah, we'll just go from there. Okay, that'll do the video, and yeah, you'll see us back again assembling some of the shafts.